When I was 5 years old, my family lived next door to Mr. Grinch. And he was a mean one, that Mr. Grinch. On the day before Christmas that year, he came over to our house, and in a very loud voice so that I would hear, he said that he was going to get out his hunting rifle that night and shoot down Santa Claus. And he laughed, and I cried. I believed his bad news. And that night I sat at my bedroom window and I watched through the night. Well, I watched until I fell asleep on the windowsill, that is. The hopes and fears of all my years were met in me that night. St. Paul's is a church that watches with us through the night. A church that is with us through nights of illness and anxieties. A church that is with us through days of personal tragedies and fears. Confronting the Grinch. Never once believing that the bad news of the day can overcome the good news of great joy. And bringing hope to so many in so many different ways. The homeless men and women who find shelter at the Lincoln Park Community Shelter. To run away and throw away youth taken in from the streets by the night ministry. To abused children and youth affected by violence and their end-of-the-rope families served by UCAN. To elderly and lonely seniors at St. Paul's House. To the hungry who are served meals every day of the year, the Good News Community Kitchen. And this is a church that also brings joy. It brings joy each and every Sunday morning in wonderful services of worship like this. In worship that gives us hope to lead us onward, and courage in the face of the fears that hold us back. Pastors who challenge us with a theology of hope through all kinds of education classes. A church that helps us raise our children in this gospel, in this faith that says all people matter. And that's why at this time each year I make my pledge to St. Paul's Church. There's still a little bit of that fearful 5-year-old inside me that needs to hear that good news of great joy. And there's still a part of me that keeps urging me to tell that good news as well. Not only to fearful 5-year-olds, but people around the world who believe the bad news that there is no hope. But God is with them, and God is with us. We are not alone. To tell that good news, however, takes money. It takes your pledge, and it takes mine, to continue to be the bearer of the glad tidings of great joy. And once again, St. Paul's is in the midst of a stewardship campaign. We are halfway to the goal, and we would like to be all the way to the goal by New Year's Day. So if you are touched and have been touched by the good news that this church tells, please make your pledge. You can make it today. Pledge cards are in the pew racks. You can fill those out and put them in the offering plate. You can send them back to the church. You can go online at spucc.org and make a pledge there. Believe me, the good news that this church tells needs to be heard. Santa came. That day, Christmas dawned and Santa came. And Santa even left a present for Mr. Grinch at our house. And when we gave it to him, his heart grew 10 sizes that day. Well, okay, maybe 3 or 4 sizes that day. And a 5-year-old boy learned something about grace. God's grace. God's good news. And that keeps me pledging year after year to St. Paul's. But wait, there's more. Our morning offering. Remember, God loves a cheerful giver. And along with your We're offering this morning. You can place your pledge card in the pew rack. If you're visiting with us, you could also place a visitor card, a getting to know you card. The pastors would like to know that you were here. And our ushers really like to carry very heavy plates back to the narthex.